Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to attempt to finish this page. I'm going to do some of the greenery, which I started here just to make sure I knew the colors I wanted to use. There's some holly, pine branches, and then there's this bowl thing here that is holding a bunch of this greenery up that probably comes down in here. So there's going to be a dark brown in these areas that go around in here. And I kept trying to figure out what these lines are. Sorry. They're the handle on the back of the Nutcrackers, I'm assuming. But I'm going to white them out because of two reasons. One, I don't think, because it's the same color as the jackets. And then there'd be a blue line that comes down here to here. But on this side, it would be a red line, and I didn't like where it was going on that side. So I'm just going to use a white Posca, then take out the line there. Let me see if I have one handy on this poor desk of mine. So we're going to take out that line. It might take a couple of coats to do that. And I'm going to kind of blur it in here a little bit because I don't want a straight clunk of a line. One, I have to color in there, so we kind of want it smoother. That helps me out. You know, guys don't have to do that, but it helps me out on that portion. Now on doing the pine branches, what I did was bring in a Posca, and this is the Pea Yellow. It comes in a big set, so or you can find it on its own. So it's either pale yellow or pastel yellow or whatever the P stands for. I'm not sure. So I'm going to do, how about one up here somewhere? I just took it and kind of brought in some lines, and what I'm trying to do is go over those black lines so these don't look like feathers. So I just bring it out like that. We'll do a couple of these up here. That should be enough. We'll do one over here too. Maybe this one down here. Okay. You have to let it dry because it's wet paint. And then I have a whole selection of colors I'm using. I'm also using the AFMAT eraser here to erase some of the lines. I'm using the slice tool here that will scrape off some of the color. And I'm using a slew of colors here. So we have this one, which is the cadmium yellow lemon, which is really close to this, so I can color in a little bit more. This one is May green, which gives us a lighter color. Then I would go in with olive green yellowish, giving us a bit darker. None of these colors have been used on anything here, but we're doing green, so it's okay. We're going to have green all over the page. This is earth green. This one we did use. It's pine green, and I believe I used it to darken up in these areas, so I will have one color in here that will mimic over there. Of course, the black. Poor little black. I'm also bringing in a little burnt sienna and some bistre. If you look at pine branches, some of the needles can be brown, and it gives a nice variation. And what I did down in this area is I would put some brown on like every other one, so our branches don't look all the same. You kind of have a little bit of a difference between them. Those should be dry enough, so I'm going to get the camera down and show you what we do next. Okay, the light is shining weird here, but we'll manage. So I'm going to bring in the cadmium yellow lemon first, and we're going to kind of go ziggy-zaggy. I'm going to make these a little bushier than they are. May green. Going to keep turning the pencil so I have a sharp point. Okay, there's not much difference in these colors, but okay, then we're going to go in with the olive greenish, or green yellowish. We're going to go down a little further and pull some of that up. Still kind of pulling those lines outward. I think there's another one in there, so I can pull that out a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to go in with the pine green. Go in with the earth green. Okay, we're going to take the black in. Anywhere that it's close to anything, we're darkening and then pulling out and adding in our little stem that we have going up the center. kind of up here, you have to figure out where your darkness is going to be. There is a branch that comes up here. There's another little guy down here. Don't know how long these are supposed to be, but at the same time, I'm going to make this the deepest part of the tree, or the bush, or whatever you want to call the menagerie that's in the bowl. So we just go around those, kind of darken that and make it deep. Then go over with your little branches here. And we'll do one down there, but that will be our deepest point. Now what you can do is, if you want to have a little bit more texture in here, is I'll go in pull some of that color out. Okay, where is my little wiper thingy? Here we go. I'm going to take some of that out, and then we'll go in with a color. Like this one, we'll put a little brown in. And this is the Bister color. Skip that one, do this one, skip that one, and do this one. And in those ones we put brown, or the Bister, we'll put a little burnt sienna down on the other one. We'll throw a few in there. Just pick and choose where you want to have a little bit of brown in there. Okay. If there's a spot that you think is a little too brown, pull in your eraser and pull some color out of that and add in a green or whatever other color you think would act better in there, just to give each little branch a little bit different coloration. And we can pull in a little bit of red. This is the red violet. And add it in one or two. It'll just wake up the branch a little bit and bring out that color. So we'll have the pine green that was in the greens and the red being put into the greenery. Don't use a whole lot of it, just put it here and there. If you want an even deeper look in there, in some of those, you can bring in the dark indigo, which goes nicely with the green, and deepen up some of those with that. So as shadow points, but it's also the color that's in this guy. So those are our shadow and adding colors in. So basically that is how I'm going to do all the pine branches that are all over this page. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is put the yellow on all of it, the pastel, just because I don't like that each one of these is blocked off and looks like a feather. My branch is a little fluffier. So we just go around, and you could go with white if you want, but I'm going to put that color in these anyway, so I might as well have this as a start point. If you want your pine branches a different color, just use a different color. If you don't mind them looking like feathers, go for it. I just want them bushier. Like I said, every time I do a page, it's just because that's how I'm going to color it. You guys can change it any way you want. If you want the colors different, do the colors different. If you don't want to get so involved in all of these tiny little branches, nothing saying you can't just color them all green. Make them bright green. I have no idea what I'm going to do in there. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. Knock everything over the desk again. Okay, this is the holly, and we're going to leave that alone for right now. We're just going to put these on. I know, boring. I'm going to put it on and then let it dry. And I'll finish all of these off screen. So you don't have to sit there and stare at me do that. There's a lot more on the page we gotta do. And the ones over here. Alright, that part's done. Anything other than the holly? Okay, we are going to use the blue permanent green olive and earth green for the holly. I'll skip these because I started those. We'll go to this guy over here. We're going to go around this edge, and this is the indigo. We're only going to go on one side. It's the bottom side, I guess you could call it. And up the stem. This is really kind of hard for me. You know those pictures where they have hidden things? Like you'll have a vase in the middle of the picture and everybody sees the vase, and then they have on each side of the vase the faces. I'm always seeing the odd part first, and then I have to really concentrate to see the thing you're supposed to be able to see. So when I get into these little curls, I'm like, what is this part? It looks like whipped cream on a muffin or something. Okay, we're going in with the permanent green olive right over the blue. It's a really pretty color to go They go together nicely. And we're just going to pull down some lines. Okay, then we're going to go in with our earth green yellowish. I'm going to pull a little bit of the black in here. Start at the base, pull it up, make sure our little lines are still there. Then just on the base here. This leaf could go either way. And that's how we will do the holly. Let's see, we've got the little patch here, little patch here, here. I think there's another patch somewhere else, but we'll do this one here. The blue. I don't remember how many there are. The green olive. That one's done backwards. It's not going to matter. But it's going to bug me, so. We'll just redo it. It's the blue on this side because it's on the bottom. The green. Bring up some lines. The earth green yellowish. And then the black. And this side over here, and get that nice and dark, leaving this little one light on the top, so it looks tucked in. Bring that branch down, and I think those are berries, so we'll darken those up. This one has a branch that comes here and we'll connect it. It's still under this one. I'm going to just darken that edge. And that's the holly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish all the branches off if I find any more holly. I did his hat the same way up here, the one little branch of holly he's got. So I'll get all these branches done, and then I'll come back and we'll do the bowl and all those little pieces in between that I'm going to pretend are the bowl, because I don't know. If it's not, it's going to be done in dark black in this areas where there isn't anything. So, or I can add some more branches because I could. Anyway, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're back, and all the greenery has been done. And if you want, you can go back in with a little bit of the pale or pastel yellow here, depending on which one you want to call it, and just add a few light strokes just to add up or break up some of the massive amount of green we have here. You can go over it with the May green and soften up the tips. So as soon as that dries, I'll show you what I mean. But it just adds a little something there to highlight some areas if you so wish it to do that. I think it looks kind of cool. So we just take May green, just touch up those tips that we painted on there. I went ahead and I did that on the holly here because I couldn't see it, and I did that up in his hat up here too. I lightened it right there and then just go over it with the May green to darken it or shadow it. Whichever, excuse me, hold on. Darken it, shadow it, whichever you prefer to term it. So just go around and touch them up a little bit if you put any of that on there. But I think that looks pretty good. So we have the thing to do back here. So I got to pull out all these browns that I have sitting on my desk. What are you? Huh? It's brown. And cream. Oh boy. So we're going to start off with the cream, and we're going to put it everywhere I think that this vessel is. Be in here, gonna be in here, it's gonna be probably in there. I have no idea. There's this little line, but I think I drew that. But I think it would look funny if it's not there, so we're gonna add it, and we're gonna put it down here. The sword in this area here. And if we brought the bowl down, we're going to pretend it goes all the way down. So that's why we went over these areas with a light coating of the Posca so I could color in there. Okay, so we're going to pretend all that goes all the way down to the ground. It would be right here, so it's right behind him. You're not going to see much of that. Okay. Oh, the other thing I should do really quick while I have the greens out. We're going to take the same, well, the earthy green yellowish. And all these berry plants, I'm just going to go over those, especially like in here, and I'm going to darken all that up. But we'll color in those little leaves in this color. So then I can just, fill it in. with a little of that color in there. So any hollow spaces we have, we're going to fill that in with that. And then color in those leaves. So that's all done in the earth green yellowish color. Then we'll just color it up here. So I'll be finishing that off camera, ready to do this piece of wood thing. All right, we want a dark color. I now have a dark color, walnut, brown, and we're going to go, if you're down far enough, we're going to go over these. I want this darker than the horse. So I'm going to bring some of these down pretty dark. This here is going to be a knot. And we've got lines here. We're just going to darken them up. I'm going to curl these a little like these are for this side of the planter or whatever it is. So I'm going to curl this one a little bit too. Probably not as much. There we go. So it attaches to everything. Okay, now in these dark areas where we're going to have shadows from the hat and the arm, the tassels and all that stuff, we're just going to put some of that walnut down in there. We're not pressing as hard as we did when we made the lines. Turn it a little bit here so I can get across the top. We're going to color those leaves in before we get too far. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're just going to keep darkening it up. Okay, we're going to bring in a different color now, just because wood is not all one color. This is the raw umber. And we'll bring in, this is my pencils go flying, a little bit of brown ochre. A little bit of burnt ochre. And a little bit of burnt sienna. I'm going to go over our lines a little bit, add a little extra tails on them. Add any extra ones if you want. Then we're going to go in with black and just make sure that all our lines, well, we're going to sharpen it, number one. There we go, all our lines are where we want them darkest. And I'm going to jagged them up a little bit. Anywhere you need to get a little more depth in here, we just darken with the black. darken that piece, and then we'll bring in some, yeah, I think I can do it with the eraser part. Just lighten a little bit in there. And then add a lighter color. And I think I have ivory out here. I throw a little of that in where it needs to brighten up. There we go. I'm liking that. Okay. So like I said, all I'm going to do now is go around with the earth green color and make sure that these leaves, the little tiny leaves, are colored in, and then just run a little bit of that color to take the white out of the page. Looks like I did not do this, so we're going to color that in the gray. There we go. So any place that's down in here that still looks white, just going to run that color over it. I want it to look full and fluffy, and then when I run across the leaf, we'll just fill them in. They're tiny, and I'm not going to bother to shade them. I will go dark on them. And then like in here, I want a little more green. I'll just pull the green out. Same down in here. So we'll just work around doing that bit. Any of that I'll clean up later before I take a picture of it and put it at the end of the video, but that is going to be it. We're just going to finish those up. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always I will leave a picture at the end of the video of it finished. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, everyone, and see you in the next one. Bye now.